Hey guys, hope you're all well. This is actually the second time I've tried to start this video. I've had one of them days. It wouldn't be a normal day without issues, would it? Start with, couldn't find the shed keys. I'd locked them in here. So I had to remove the shed door to get in to get the keys. Plus, obviously, all my tools are in here, and the toolkit down the house consists of a bent fork and a chewed up knife. So I've had to try and get in the shed with that sort of toolkit. Anyway, we're in here. Then my soldering iron packs up. My long, trusty, cheap, nasty soldering iron has finally given up. So it's down there hanging up on the floor. So I've had to sort my little gas soldering iron out, go at the shop and get lighter fuel gas. So that seems to be okay. I've had a quick go with it on one wire. All seems to be fine. It ain't bad actually. It's quite good, this one, because it's small and you can get round everything. So really, this is actually better than the one I was using. What else? Yeah, the last, I don't know if some of you have watched the previous video where I went hiking up the mountains in the dark. I didn't catch it on camera because I was absolutely mortified. My bike fell over. Yeah, one of them moments. I'm sure some of you have had that, where you watch it fall over or you just go back to it and your bike's on the side and you have no clue why or how it's done it. Well, I'd pulled up into this lay-by in, well, it's where the path leads up to them mountains. Parked up, put the bike on the stand, got off the bike, walked around, chatted to my friend. He'd parked his bike up. We both was then facing this sign, reading this sign, and we heard this big crash behind us. Both turned around, my bike's on its side. It had been stood there for at least 2 or 3 minutes, flat ground, and it had just gone over. One of them moments. We both rushed up to it, hoisted it up. I expected to see smashed in tank, tail unit, everything. Oh, it'd be just my luck. Everything's got a scar on it, but I got away with it lightly. That's all I'll say. I did get away with it lightly. It has marked the engine casing and it's marked the bar end weight. That is it. So yeah, a bit of a miracle really. So yeah, I've got to do something with the engine casing because the bike is actually immaculate. Well, it's not now. It's got scars on it and it's really messing with my head, that is. So I'll either do something with it or just find another engine casing that's absolutely immaculate. One of them. It's happened and that's it. I'll get it all back to how it should be, sake of a bar end and, like I say, an engine casing. In fact, I could actually buy one of them crash protection guards that you get over the engine, which would actually hide it all, but then I still know it's there. I'll figure it out. I'll do something I'm happy with. Anyway, let's get on with this thing. Again, we're on the wiring. I know it's not too exciting, but a few of you guys have asked for me to go through little bits of the wiring, which I will do. I'm doing the ignition next, gradually getting all the wires from that up through the frame and all to the places where they want to go. So we'll do that. This week, this bike's going to be on the floor and we're going to be kicking it over. Fingers crossed, touch wood, that it's all going to behave itself. As I said before, it really isn't my favourite part of the bike build. It is and it ain't. Yes, when it fires up, it's the ultimate, you've done your job right and everything, but some do throw up problems. It's all part of building bikes, I guess. It never goes smoothly all the time, and you do have sort of little glitches now and again, teething problems, if you want to call it that. Hopefully this is going to behave itself. Come on. Fingers crossed. So yeah, thank you to everybody who's been watching the other videos as well of me going right out, so I appreciate that. I know not everybody's going to be into that thing, because you know, some people think, oh, I've come here to watch bikes be built. Yes, I get that. So if I do little videos of me going out, you know, just don't bother watching it or whatever. What, you know, there's always going to be a bike video followed up. So yeah, I appreciate everybody watching them. I do go out quite a lot in the evenings and at weekends. Them videos are my spare time, and if I think I'm going somewhere that could be interesting to share, I do take the cameras. A lot of the time I don't. All the camera gear stays here. I jump on the bike and go and have a bit of time to myself and a bit of fun. But like I say, that plane crash, I thought, maybe that'll be interesting to a few people. Fred Dibner's place and things like that. So yeah, I do take the camera with me sometimes, but that is my spare time, like I say, evenings or weekends. The bike building's never going to stop. If you think I'm going to turn into one of these, what do you call them? Motor vlogger, blogger, bogger, whatever it's called, a guy who takes a video out, let's call it that. If you think I'm turning into that, I'm not. I just like to do a few things that are different. At the end of the day, it's just about silly old me messing about with bikes and going out for a ride. So yeah, like I say, if it's interesting, I'll take the cameras and share it. If you know, if you're interested, some guys seem to be. I know some people aren't. It's just one of them. But yeah, I've got a few more planned before the summer ends, and then when the winter really kicks in, I'm going to be trapped back in here more or less 7 days a week again. So yeah, I'll try and fill my boots in evenings and weekends, getting out and having a bit of fun and a break from here. Anyway, let's start wiring. Okay, right, as you can see, we've got the original ignition, and you'll see that when I remove this, I cut the wires a fair bit back. Reason being, I want to use all these original connectors. I've done it in the past with near enough all the bikes, and it's been absolutely fine. So as you can see down here, well, you probably can't see without me moving the camera, but that's the first one that goes to the coil. Obviously we're using much better electrical items like the coil and the electronic ignition and power box that replaces the regulator rectifier, which is utter junk on this era of bike. So we have got different coloured wires, but I'm going to join them all up to these, and then we can use these original fittings, like I say, which are absolutely fine. They're good, strong, they've all soldered in, so I'm going to obviously join them up here. And what we'll do then is, as we get each one joined, I'll label them all up. I won't put the ignition straight back on because it's all got to be fed through the dummy oil tank when we fit that. So yeah, we're just going to plod through them till we've got them all joined and labelled up. Dun dun dun. So next one is, we have a blue. I'll say they won't all necessarily be colour coded to this, but it will be all new wiring. We have a blue that runs to the flasher unit. We've already got this one going to the brake light switch down there. So we've got our link off that and go to number 13 on the ignition, and then one links off that and goes up through the frame to the ammeter, which is sitting in the headlight on this bike. So let's get the ignition. As you can see, that will be that one that's already got the two wires fitted in. So this will go to one of these I've put coming from the back light. I'll get my meter on and double check, and we'll label it up. Link one of them into there, and this one will extend and take all the way up the frame to the top of the bike. Right, I've got this power probe. It's quite good actually. I haven't really used one of these. It was kind of given to me, and basically you can check all your wiring with it. You can put live to certain wires to see if things are working and things like that. So bear with me if I'm not explaining it properly. So like I say, this is really the first time I've messed about with one. I've had a go with them in the past, like with friends and stuff, but this is the first time I'm really using one on a build. So bear with me if I do get some explanations wrong or use it wrong. I'm just getting used to it myself. I'm a bloke, I don't read instructions. So, what are you after, Blue? Eh? No biscuits up here today, mate? No. We'll have to get you some, won't we? Yeah. Right, let me carry on. We should get power to it by connecting this power probe to the wire. There we go. So we know that is definitely the brake light wire. And the other one is a great big long thing. Should be, yeah, just the normal rear light. Excellent. Right, got to get one down the frame. So I've got my white pull through wire, which stays in there till all the wires are passed through. So we get this one down, which will eventually go up to the ammeter, and we'll connect it down in the dummy oil tank side and label it up then. There we go. There we are. Chipping away at it bit by bit. Slide the wrap on first, so don't forget. As I said, it's easy to forget. Slide the shrink wrap over so it starts shrinking instantly, and then you can't get it all the way over. There we go. Sorted. So we'll start labelling some of these up now. So I know that one goes to 13 on the ignition. And where are we? That one goes to 6. So we'll start labelling them up because I've got the memory of a goldfish and I won't remember. Right, so we've got the first blue one then that's going to go into the headlight bowl. So I'll snip that off. So we've got plenty of wire to play around with. A bit more on that actually. then we'll deal with that in a bit. I think next we will do this one that's to the rear light. So although this has got to go, as you can see we've got plenty of wire there, this one's got to go all the way up the frame. I am going to do a bullet connector in this one. If we don't, that will trap the dummy oil tank on the bike. We need to be able to part that one, as all these are just coming straight out the frame to the dummy oil tank. This one's coming out of this section of the frame, ready to go up that section. So yeah, we'll put a little connector in this one. Right, let's get this one down the frame. Right, that's that green one with a little bullet connector on it. I just thought, so I'm being daft, I've got to connect that one as well. Put a connector in that one, because obviously it's all got to pass through a tiny hole on the top of the dummy oil tank. So, choppy choppy. That's it. With a connector on that one and that one, then when the tank's in, they can just pass through the hole, then connect inside it. We'll shove them together for now. Right, we have the next wire through, which is from number 5 on the headlight switch to number 8 on the ignition. So I'm just going to go and connect that up and just slowly work through everything from the ignition. That's that one, let's say number 5. So I'm getting them all labelled, so basically, like I say, feeding everything through first, labelling all the ends, then connecting everything. And I can get everything cut and trimmed at the right length and keep it all nice and neat. That's the plan. So far then, we've got 13, we've got 8, and where are you? We have 6. There's 3 all ready for the ignition already. Pull that through a bit more now. There we go. So it will look a mess for a while till we get to the connecting side of things, and it'll all start going tidy. So what we got next? We have 3 wires left on the ignition. So yeah, I say I just find it easier this way. When I've stripped the bike out, like I say, leave a bit of wire on, and then you can slowly pick them off and label them up as you make your own harness. Obviously we have to make our own harness on this because each individual wire is going up through the frame, and bits are in slightly different places to what they are on the original bike. So original harness just won't work. You'll spend more time messing about with it, trying to make it work, and what you're just connecting new wires up, using new wires. So what we got next? Where's my eyes? These numbers are so small on here. What's that? 11. So where does 11 go? I'm guessing the battery. Yep. So that can stay as it is. That will need an inline fuse on it, and that will just go to positive on the battery. So we'll just we've got some inline fuses somewhere, so we'll just connect one of them up to that one, knowing it's going to go to the battery. So brown ones. What's that? Oh yeah, I ain't risking it. Let's put my glasses on. I can see. So brown should be marked up 2 and 4.
which they are, 2. Oh, that's easy enough. Goes to rectifier. So that will go to the Boyer power box. And 4, yeah, so we got to pass another wire through the frame for 4, because that goes to the plus on the ammeter. So we might as well have number 4 off then and do that next. So put the screws back in because I will lose them. Right, let's get a wire in the frame for that one. It's also right number 4. That's all we need to write. We know it's going to the ignition. Number 4. Right, let's get a wire in the frame, connect that. That's pretty much got the ignition side of things sorted. We've got everything going up out the top tube ready to go to the front in the headlight to all the places it needs to go. We've got plenty of wire there to mess about with. I've got more or less every wire out here for the ignition now and all labelled up to what pole they've got to go to. I've got the ignition here sorted. Just got to put an eyelet on that for the battery. That's got an inline fuse in. This one will eventually go to the Boyer power box. That would have originally gone to the regulator rectifier. Got the Boyer power box here ready to go. And then we've got the 2 wires there that will go to the Boyer power box as well. So next little job on this, which we will do in the next video, is probably get the dummy oil tank in place and the battery box and start fitting all this properly, and this as well. And that is literally the back end of the bike finished. When all this is all linked up, everything's shortened to where it should be, everything tidied up, the pull through wire pulled out, although sometimes I do leave that in as a spare in case one of the wires has a failure. At least you've got that already through the frame that can be linked up and used if need be. So I may just leave that in there. So yeah, we'll get all this linked up tomorrow and then we'll start going into the front end and get all that linked up. That's going to be all the switches on the handlebars, headlights, headlight switches, ammeter, speedo light. Yeah, that's about it. Be nice to tick the wiring off the list. Anyway, that'll do for today. Like I say, not the most exciting videos, but we're plodding through it. It is a stage of the bike that needs doing, and back on it tomorrow. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.